Hello, baby.
I was crazy once.
I'm thinking of a number.
Hello, everyone.
Oh,
This is Ethan.
are you doing Bob Duca? Is this Bob?
It's kind of a thing, you know. We talked, you know. He made his appearance in the first episode of the new year, or the second episode, I think, with the in and out list.
Okay, that's right. We did
so
our
I'm all
Bobby
back.
Duca.
Our BD.
BD.
Give him hell,
Yeah.
Big D. That's right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Style and Direction, the mentor podcast without the stuffiness, the enthusiast, and your favorite trio. Or hosted
That's
by your
right.
favorite trio, I guess.
We're the
Hosted by
we're the
us.
new Stooges.
The New Stooges, that's right.
Yeah. I was actually watching a bunch of Three Stooges this morning.
You were? Why were you? Why?
'Cause it got recommended on YouTube. Well, first what happened? I found a clip on Twitter of a bunch of stooge stunts that involved dummies. Like, you know, when they would be flung out of windows and then they would just be replaced by a dummy. And then I started watching a bunch of shit on YouTube. And
Oh, yeah.
it's, I gotta say, guys, I'm turning into a stooge head. It's happening.
You're gonna be Curly, right? Because you told us
An
on
S-head.
on the episode, I think one of the episodes, right, that Curly was supposed to be
Girly.
fancy? Girly, that's right.
And then they misheard him and said, and thought he said curly.
Because that's funny because he is so bald.
Because he's bald. Yes.
Bald head.
Bald.
Bald head.
That's right.
That's
I'm
like
Ethan.
they should have a gang in England called Bald Heads or something like that.
That's right. And
Yeah.
they become racist at some point, maybe?
Yeah, or maybe the racist ones kind of take it over, and the original Bald Heads are like, nah, that sucks.
Is
Remember
it
the
like
part in
the-
the Bible
is it
where
like bike
who was
riders?
it that got called
Elijah.
bald?
It's Elisha. It's Elisha.
Elisha, and then he's
The-
like, I'm gonna kill you with bears.
Yeah, he says. Yeah, he said something like, "Hey kids, check this out," and then like he summons a bear, and then the bears just kill those
Mauls
kids.
them.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
that is crazy. Also,
I
it's
remember-
funny because Elisha in my head, like he's bald. He's got like white beard and like a bald head, but in my head, like Elijah, who is Elisha's like teacher,
Pupil.
I think,
Uh-huh.
a pupil. Wait,
Wait.
Elijah's the pupil.
Wait, no, I mixed
As I was
them
gonna
up.
say, in my head,
Ask my
Elijah
dad about
has
this. I don't know.
Elijah
My dad's
has
a
like
pastor.
has long black hair, and he just has a youthful energy to him, and that Elisha is his. I was gonna say it's funny because I assume Elisha is his student, but then he's older because of the whole bear thing to me.
Oh, yes. No, I got
Uh,
it mixed up. I'm a bad dentist.
Yeah, you are wrong. That's right.
Yeah.
A disciple of Elijah.
Yeah, the way that you're
I-
supposed to remember is because
J comes before
yeah,
S.
alphabetically, he would come first anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you should always think about things alphabetically.
Yeah, that's why it's
hey,
Ethan,
guys,
MJ, and Spencer.
That's
Yeah.
right. Just I'm always first. Here's some top facts about Elijah. You know, he's
Top
known for
facts.
calling fire down from heaven to, you know, when
That's
he was
cool.
burning the offering, right? Because it was with I forgot what the king was, but I know it's Jezebel, right? But like they were doing a Baal offering, and the Baal prophets were like, burn this offering, and then, of course, because as we know, this is a Christian podcast, nothing happened. But then when Elijah did it, like fire just burns up both offerings, and then I think Elijah then goes and kills all of the Baal zealots or whatever, because it was like that was like the ultimatum that they had or something like that.
Yeah. I remember reading these stories. I had the like Bible for boys, like epic gnarly Bible
boys.
for boys. Yeah,
Okay.
I had that where it's like it was just the Bible, but then it would have sections like the grossest stories from the Bible or whatever, and then it was just shit like this.
I mean, I know we've said it before, but the whole Ehud thing, the assassin
Yeah.
who killed this king who was so fat that the sword didn't even
Yeah.
pierce the other side. We've said
That one was in there. That was definitely in there. I remember that story. They should have a biblical Assassin's Creed where you kill Jesus. Just using
Well-
the Templars.
Wait, the Templars are Christian though.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
the
that's
it's
what-
the assassins who are I think are like Muslim coded or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, in the first
Well, because it's
game,
based on a historical thing, and I think the assassins
assassin,
were
Yeah.
they were like a Muslim group, I think.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot,
this
don't
is
ask
not
me.
this is not a history podcast.
Go talk to Dan. Whatever. What's that guy?
Dan Brown, the
Not
author?
Dan Brown.
Oh.
What's the history podcast? I've never fucking listened to
Oh,
it.
Dan Snow. You talk about Dan Snow.
Maybe. Who knows?
Dan Snow. No, I mean, I'm not gonna say why. I mean, I'm not gonna, but I know it's Dan Snow
Okay.
because that's just what I do for a living.
Yeah.
Dan Snow's History Hit, popular podcast.
There you go.
Welcome. My
Hardcore
name's-
History is Dan Carlin, but there are two Dans in the history podcast.
That's
world.
right.
Yeah.
And also in this podcast world, my name is Ethan.
And in this podcast world, my name is Franklin, but I go by Spencer.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I'm this universe's MJ.
This
We're in the
universe.
multiverse now. We're getting in on this
Yeah.
trend that's
So-
I guess been around for like half a decade now, but we're finally getting into it.
Yeah, we're finally applying it right now. We've
Uh-huh.
opened up a multiversal tunnel, I think, which I think is like the leaked plot to Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about that movie, aren't we?
We are because it's period,
It's a period
and,
piece.
and there's a couple of suits in that one.
We're going to talk about the things, fedora and trench coat.
That's right.
Yeah. Is it okay? So I'm worried. Do you know from the
Okay.
there you
Talk
go
about the
from the
trailer.
leaks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Uh-huh.
know if this is going to be
Damn,
primarily
spoilers.
a period piece? Spoilers for a movie that's going to come out in how God knows how
No,
long.
I think it's confirmed
But-
that it takes place in the current era, but it's just a 1960s future.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like kind of like The
Aw,
Incredibles
okay.
or something like that. Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I is that better? I don't know. I was because I
Or they
like,
time travel to a different night.
Or it's like
okay.
because it's like the
here's
Fantastic
leak.
Four. They go into space. They're blasted with space radiation, and they become fantastic. I
Yeah.
kind of assumed that maybe the first 20, 30 minutes would be period piece. Then they go into space, and now they're in MCU world.
Yeah.
Here's
Like
the
WandaVision.
most recent leak actually.
Yeah.
It's actually they're from the current MCU. They go into space and they get transported to a different 1960s.
Okay.
And so they're there. That's why they're geniuses in the 60s in this other universe. So it is
Huh.
period.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Check
Robert
back with
Downey
us
Jr.
in like July. Yeah. The ending
Yeah.
of the movie is gonna have Robert Downey Jr. Hey guys, I don't know how to do his fucking impression.
I like
Dr.
this though.
Doom.
Yeah.
I was kind of doing like a what do you call it, the Locust Valley Lockjaw, which is I guess kind of going back to Bob Duca a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of more of Alan Alda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great line.
That's pretty
We
good.
used to wear jackets like this.
Yeah.
I'm the old guy. I'm the new Bill Hader. Hey SNL. Hey Lorne, hire me.
Hey, Lorne.
By the way, that 50th thing sucked. I watched a
Yeah,
lot of.
I didn't watch
I
it.
I watched quite a few sketches of that, and that
Not good.
straight up everything. It's so. I mean, I know that most I was having a conversation with James. Stand-up comedy in general is like, and like sketches are just millennial coded because that's just kind of like the people who do those things,
Mm-hmm.
and referencing your own thing sucks, and SNL loves doing that now. There are some good sketches, okay, but the 50th is just so self-referential that it's bad. So,
Yeah.
but watch Saturday Night period movie with some good clothes. I guess maybe we'll talk about that someday too.
Yeah, I need an excuse to watch that. We could do
Yeah,
that.
you
All
both
the
need to watch
2024 movies that because I've been seeing movies this year, but they've all been like old movies at rep screenings. But we could talk about Apprentice. We could talk about Saturday
man.
Night.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I
The
don't know.
Brutalist.
The Brutal. We got to talk about The Brutalist. I want to
That's
watch
right.
that one too. I need to watch that.
Oh my god, you guys! How
Yeah, I
how is
know.
it that I've been seeing so much stuff? Also,
I've been seeing Big Night and In the Mood for Love and
that's
things
right,
of
which
that
is going to be
nature.
I think the next bonus because
Yeah.
that one's really good. MJ, you
It's
got to get
really
on that
good.
shit
It makes me want to wear skinny ties, but I guess we'll talk about that in the
in the
bonus
episode. Yeah. I will say I tried dressing up like the character and I could barely do it because I do not own any skinny ties.
Mm-hmm.
He does wear, I think, like a stripe at some point, which is I'm like, okay, I could have done that, but
I still have a few skinny ties. I think we've talked about this before, but I really have. I guess maybe you could. I don't know if you want to call it regressing or just reversing into like what I was doing in high school, which is just I'm always dressing like it's 1963.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you loved like Mad Men and everything like that.
I'm watching through it again. Greatest show of all time. Just got to the episode where Don has a complete breakdown while pitching to Hershey's. Good show.
Damn, I wish I should do that. I should like be at my job, pitch something, and then break down completely.
Yeah, and just admit to everyone that you grew up in a whorehouse.
Yeah, I just started getting the TikTok clip where I think they're like kind of edging out Lane. And this is before the trigger warning.
Jaguar incident.
The Jaguar incident. But it's the one where Pete says like, oh, the only thing you were useful for was like signing like the new lease for the thing, like the Draper Price, whatever, the new company that they make up, and then he's like, Lane's like, I'm gonna beat you up, Pete, and starts taking off his jacket.
Yes,
and
that
then
was
like
really good.
And then like Bert and Roger, they're like, okay, and Pete's like, wait, is this happening? And then like Don's like closing the blinds. It's so funny.
It's really good. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta watch this show again.
I love whenever I watch. It's such a good show. I know that we've been beaten to the punch by Apocalypse duds, but we should do a Mad Men episode at some point.
Yeah, because we can do it better, is what you're saying?
I'm just saying we'll contribute to the grand
discourse, like we did with the whole personal style thing.
They're friends of the pod.
Well, I am.
Okay, but they are, by extension, friends of our pod, is what I'm saying.
Hey, you guys, MJ and Spencer exist, guys. You can invite them onto the pod. Like,
That's
come on,
right.
guys. They all have, and the best part is they have their own podcasting equipment. So
I sure do.
We just don't have a blog because it all started from Ethan, but
that's right. And don't you ever forget it.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you're like, whoa, where's the big topic? It's one of those episodes where we're not talking about anything in particular, actually.
We're like Seinfeld. We're Seinfeldian. I'm Kramer. I'm going to the Comedy Store right now.
We're Seinfelding all over the place.
I think it was the Laugh Factory.
I don't know if I saved it. That brings me to a good thing that I did not write down in our notes for today's episode. You know how, like, Jerry's not terribly attractive? Actually, like none of them kind of are, you know what I mean? Except for, I guess, Elaine. And I guess Kramer. I guess it's just George. Hot. Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that Kramer's really hot? Are you saying that he's one of the hot ones?
Well, I think as a short man, I think a tall, skinny guy is automatically leagues more attractive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just saying as a 5'8" short king. 50,000 of them. That's right.
Yeah.
But no, I was going to say this. It's funny. I got a TikTok of a guy saying like, "Oh, outfits inspired by Seinfeld," and I'm like, "Bro, you're like 3 years late to this." First of all, but it's one of those things where like he's got like Instagram face where he's like so traditionally attractive that I'm like, it doesn't look the same. It doesn't look as schlubby, as well as like like the discourse was 3 years ago, and compared to Jerry in general, like you look like a model dressing like this, you know. Which is what he is, but I just thought that was really funny. If I can find the TikTok, and I'll add it to this, but I don't think I saved it because I was like watching it with a disgusted face. Like,
did we ever talk about the Jerry Seinfeld like ALD lookbook or whatever that was?
Oh yeah, I thought that was Kith. That wasn't ALD.
Kith, yeah.
ALD would have made more sense. Kith is more streetwear, and that sucked. I think actually
that was not a good lookbook. Every once in a while, I'll see a photo from it. I'm like, Jerry, you look ridiculous.
It's because he's also not a good model.
No.
Like, I think everyone's been obsessed with celebrities. We talked about that in the personal style episode. But I always have to hand it to like some celebrities like I don't know, like Adam Scott. I guess maybe he's not as big as some of the other ones, but like they're good. Like they photograph pretty well, you know? But there's something about Jerry that it's just like you don't look good in these clothes. You look silly. Also, you married he pulled like a Woody Allen or something, right? Like, or he's just
well, he was when Seinfeld was airing, he was like 38 and dating a 17-year-old high schooler.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
sucks.
bad.
That sucks. Jerry Seinfeld sucks, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think that's new news.
New
No
news.
new
New
news.
yeah. Well, speaking of that, this is again, this is a casual episode. We're gonna talk about stuff that we've just been happening in our lives because I guess this is, as I wrote in the first episode, this is kind of like the blog for MJ and Spencer, I guess, actually. And so MJ, what's been going on with you lately? What's a menswear thing in your life that you were like, hey, I want to talk about this?
Menswear stuff. I mean, I've just been wearing more.
Like wearing more clothes all at once. Like I'm putting on 2 shirts.
I mean,
Yeah, you're like
I mean,
Joey in that episode.
I mean, that's just kind of what happens, right? Because if you wear undershirt and then your
I guess
shirt,
I
and then,
typically wear 2 shirts.
and then tie, right? Most guys
Is
won't
tie
wear
a shirt?
tie.
That's not-
It's a
I think
small
you're
shirt.
confusing shirts with layers, I think, actually.
Yeah.
Well, like
But I
more
guess
just
if that's the
things.
case, I'm
What is
always
a
wearing
shirt?
2 shirts.
More-
I'm always wearing 2
Yeah, yeah.
shirts. You know, like
More-
let me just,
more articles.
Have
Right.
I ever talked about? Maybe I'm gonna feel bad saying this story. Have I ever talked about Johnny 2 Shirts on this podcast?
No.
Let's.
He's
Well,
this
we're
guy
gonna. You're going to
I
know.
went to high school with.
Yeah. Okay.
His dad owned a Wiener Schnitzel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for those who don't know, that is a Los Angeles or Southern California, or maybe just California-based chain of hot dog fast food restaurants. Good milkshakes over there. I like the fries. Anyway, Johnny 2 Shirts was called that because he wore 2 polo shirts every day.
Oh, banning.
Well, no, because he would make it like a homemade contrast collar. Where, for example, he would wear like a red polo shirt and then like a yellow polo shirt and tuck the yellow polo shirt's collar over the red one. And he would always have it like buttoned up all the way, like every time.
That is a unique version of that, I think, actually.
And one day, our good friend Jay, friend of the pod, I suppose,
No, he's
asked
not. He hasn't
him.
been on yet.
Okay, well, he's our friend. But he asked this guy, Johnny 2 Shirts, who I don't think Johnny was his name, and 2 Shirts was definitely not his name. I don't know his real name.
Please, that was my
my
father.
God.
Yeah, he asked him,
You're
why do you always
bobering him
wear
right now.
2 shirts? And his response was, you know how much respect you get from wearing 2 shirts? Or 1 shirt? Now think if you wear 2.
And
And
you've
I
thought
think-
of that ever since then, actually.
I really have. It's such
does
a
he-
good response.
That's why we're pro undershirt, I think,
Yeah.
actually, right?
Yeah.
Like
Because
that's
you get
the whole...
so much more respect.
Yeah,
You know, we're not Clark Gables over here.
that's
We're
right.
not wearing
just-
undershirts.
Did he
Yeah,
become
bare
a
ass.
Did he become a menswear guy after that, or what happened?
I have no idea. He could be dead for all I know.
Okay.
I mean, I hope he's not. He wasn't a bad guy. Actually,
he just-
one more thing about him.
Oh no, is he a bad guy?
I remember in English class we were reading To Kill a Mockingbird,
Oh, no.
and we were
Classic.
discussing it. And he raised his hand and he said, well, what if this guy really did rape that woman? And the teacher was like, well, the whole point of the novel is he didn't. And he was like, well, what if he did?
Okay.
So
Edgy, I guess.
So he kind of sucks.
He kind of sucks.
Yeah, he
Um,
lost it, actually.
Yeah, but
I
Johnny
said,
Two-Shirts,
what if
everyone.
he did?
Yeah. Anyway, I hope he doesn't listen to this and sue me or something.
Well, you didn't say his real name, so I think it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a fake
we
it's a fake
don't know
story
his
for
real
all he
name.
knows.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he didn't care enough to know his real name, Spencer.
No. My high school reunion, my 10 year is theoretically coming up this year. I don't want to go. I don't know.
You should Spencer,
Okay.
for the sake of the pod, you are absolutely gonna have to go on that and wear a
Okay.
fit. And you need to have someone go, like, wow, you look the same, and be like, actually, the pants are different now, actually.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
or
look the same because I had hair and no beard back then. So
Well, beards have hair.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. MG, you have here written Valentine's Day fit. What did you wear on Valentine's Day?
Yes, I wore my burgundy turtleneck, and then on top I wore my brown leather jacket, and then just a pair of jeans. Very
Like casual
very
Valentine's.
casual, cool. You know,
Cool guy.
It's
I was
still,
gonna say.
yeah. It's. I mean,
Can you share what you did? What was your date idea? Did you come up with it? Did you guys mutually agree on Valentine's Day? Like the plans?
we had like
plans.
an in day, as inside the day.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, watch
It was a
movie,
Thursday, I think it was. Yeah, it was a Thursday.
I think it was a Thursday.
pop
Yeah.
some
Or
bottles.
was it a Friday? Who knows?
And
Pop
yeah,
some bots.
pop some
Yeah,
bots.
P's and B's.
PBs.
Mhm.
I like that you wore you wore a cool guy fit to be inside. That's kind of like the opposite of what like I do the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? Like my
You
typical
wear
days are
uncool
me
fit
wearing a
to be
tie.
inside.
No, I wear like a trad fit to be inside, but I wear like if I like it feels weird to wear a leather jacket at home because I guess in my head also leather jackets are outerwear, and so if I'm not technically
If you're not
outside, I
going
don't
out.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sport coats to me, I'm like that doesn't I don't that's like its own
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Well, because I get it. 'Cause
Spencer, I think you
jackets.
also, yeah, sport coat versus jacket. Spencer, you also dressed up for Valentine's Day, I think,
I
right?
sure did. As I said, I think I said this while we were recording. Yeah, I did. I'm back to just dressing like it's the 60s all the time, anywhere from 1960 to 1969. That's my mode. But yeah, I just did a very 60s outfit with the brown tropical wool 60s trousers that I rediscovered. I don't know if I talked about this previously on the podcast.
Well, you said
that
you
was
just
something
rediscovered
that I had
different
worn a
pants
lot.
each
I'd
time.
gotten in high school and worn a lot back then. And then I guess I like left them at my dad's house by mistake when I moved. And so a few months ago, I was back there and I was looking for something in a closet, and I found those, and I was like, "Oh damn, these are good! Like I should wear these." And so I have been wearing them frequently. They're nice high rise, not too wide, not too slim. I'm like, I'll talk about this when it's my segment, but I'm back on eBay searching for more pants like that. But yeah, I wore those with my 70s red university stripe Brooks Brothers skinny tie moment. Speaking of in the mood for love and skinny ties.
Oh yeah.
It was an early 60s skinny tie that I felt kind of looked like Valentine's Day-esque. It was bright red. I'll take a photo of it for the Instagram or something, but it's bright red with little black and white embroidered images of like fairy tale scenes. So there's like
That's cool.
a guy on a flying carpet, there's like a castle, there's like a Robin Hood-esque figure on a horseback with a bow and arrow. But my girlfriend liked that tie, so I guess I won. And then I wore that with one of my favorite jackets that I've been wearing a lot recently now that it's heated up, a 60s or 70s Brooks Gate jacket. It's part of a full suit, but I don't really like how the pants fit, so I mostly just wear it as a sport coat. But it's like a green plaid. But
Ooh,
it's
yeah.
like 3-roll 2. Really nice, lightweight. I think it's a blend, but you know, it's from the 60s, so it's not evil. But
What
yeah,
year
I
would
wore
it
that
become
with
evil?
1970. I don't know. That's the other thing. It's like, again, I'll talk more about this on my segment, but I'm looking for like stuff from the 70s on eBay too. And I'm like, damn, I forgot what it's like when you're not shopping at like curated like menswear vintage stores where the owner has cool taste.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wore those with another kind of rediscovery, but kind of thing that like I just started wearing because I liked them. But these were ones that I had here, but I kept in my garage because I got them for like really cheap at Rose Bowl. And they are old, I think, I can't remember if they're Florsheim or Allen Edmonds. I'll get them when I have a moment, but I don't want to like take off my headphones and everything. But they are just like mock toe Oxfords, or not Oxfords, sorry, derbies. But I've just been wearing those a lot. I kind of just when I'm working, because now I am also like I'm wearing a tie to work every day. For when I first started there, I feel like I was every once in a while wearing just jeans and like a button up, but now I'm like, nah, I'm gonna dress up for work. And so I normally just go between those or my Alden loafers. And the reason I didn't wear them before is because when I first got them, they were like, they were a little bit tight. They were pretty uncomfortable. But then I just had to do the menswear thing of you just have to be very uncomfortable for like 2 or 3 days and then they fit fine, which is more or less what happened. So I had 2 days at work where I was miserable the entire time, but after that, I've been wearing them.
They're all good, baby.
Yeah, they're good. They're less like chunky and like rugged, than my other pair of like split toes, which I tend to wear when the weather is bad. So it's kind of nice to have like kind of sleek but still casual derbies that aren't so like chunky and stuff like that. But yeah, that's cool. That's my Valentine's Day outfit.
That's nice. And what did you guys do for Valentine's Day?
We went to this Italian restaurant in Orange County.
Italian.
Called Carolina's.
Called Sabaros.
Nice. But it was good. It was good. A lot of other couples there. They had like a special Valentine's Day menu, which was still good, but I thought it was kind of funny because on the menu it said like for dessert there was going to be like selection of assorted Italian pastries or something. And then they just brought us like 2 cannolis, and that was it. Assorted. They didn't ask us what we wanted.
They weren't wrong, kind of.
Yeah, they weren't wrong. But I was wondering, is there really an assortment, or did you just have cannolis? Cannolis were good. I'm not complaining. Yeah. I would have asked for the cannoli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
were you the only table that got cannoli? Was it like
no? Everyone was getting cannolis.
You saw everyone else have.
Everyone was getting cannolis, and then a lesbian couple next to us complimented my outfit, so I felt like that was
hell yeah
a win.
That's good. That's good. No one complimented me on Valentine's Day. I did an outfit repeat, and like I said earlier, I know people, depending on when you're listening to this, might be like, "Where's that big outfit repeat episode that we're going to talk about?" That's gonna be at the end of this year because I still want to do way more outfit repeats. For this challenge. But I did repeat an outfit from a while back, and I wore red socks with it and wore that on Valentine's Day, and that was my little nod to Saint Valentine himself, marrying couples before he was executed by Caesar or something. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, I love my vibrant red socks over the calf. Also, I guess my tie was like paisley. It's basically the whole fit was a gray suit, striped shirt, obviously. A a dark red madder paisley tie with a houndstooth sweater vest, and then red socks, and then my brown Oxford derbies. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Brown Oxford cap toes, which I always lean into when I'm wearing like 30s attire. I feel like a lace-up feels more period than a loafer, obviously. And then whenever I'm doing that, it's usually like, well, I want to be jaunty and like English or like sportsweary, and so I feel like a brown a suede Oxford makes sense, and I love wearing them. It's one of those things. Again, I have so many shoes, but I do wear my shoes a lot and all of them. So I love them all.
I love them.
Love them.
And my date were 3 lovely men named James, Max, and Serhan, and we went to Islands.
Hey.
Hell yeah! And then we went to watch Captain America: Brave New World, and that movie sucks. Actually,
I'm watching that.
Okay, give us your review. I'm not gonna watch this movie. So
it is a very boring Winter Soldier.
Oh man!
And
he's not even in it.
If you're familiar with the plot points of Winter Soldier, you're gonna be like, "Hey, this is straight up the Winter Soldier." There is a scene, I guess, whatever. They're gonna go to an abandoned army base and find a supercomputer who tells them the twist of the movie. And I was watching it. I'm like, this is straight up Winter Soldier right now. It's straight up happening. The Red Hulk thing, I feel like they wanted that to be a twist because the movie makes it feel like that, but of course you watch knowing that it's gonna happen. So
yeah, because it's in all the trailers.
That's right. They're absolutely
so paranoid about like spoilers when they're filming shit. Like they give everyone like, okay, here's your
red
scenes
pages
only.
Or whatever. Yeah,
but
you can't photocopy
they still have the trailers that tell you everything that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's bad. The movie sucks actually. There's a menswear guy. I don't think he listens to the podcast. I don't know. Whatever. A mutual friend of mine gave it a 7 out of 10, and I was like, "You're wrong for giving it a 7 out of 10." I didn't tell him that, but I was like, "This, like, it's like you can't say, oh, it's just okay, and give it 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is like average. Average to me is half, which is 5. So, 7 out of 10 is like, oh, it could have been better, and I guess this movie could have been better if it was a completely different movie. Because again, I feel like it's cool. I mean. The bad guy in the movie is supposed to be this super genius guy who he's like 10 steps ahead of you. There should be some Lelouch shit where he like you're talking to him. It turns out, oh no, he thought about what you're gonna say, so you're talking to a recording the whole time. Like something crazy. Like show me some genius stuff. No, just because he's got like guys on the inside doesn't make him like a genius. Like that just means that he just paid him off or whatever. I'm not gonna say more because the rest is spoilers. But like, yeah, the movie. It sucks. I feel bad for everyone involved.
It's just crazy that it's like a direct sequel to the 2008 Hulk movie.
It is straight up that.
The Hulk never appears in it. Like there's no... Mark Ruffalo is nowhere to be seen.
I think he's done too, isn't he?
Is his contract up?
Probably.
I've stopped following up on following the behind the scenes like showbiz drama.
I think he also just wants to be done. Like he's...
Well, because I don't know, he does other stuff. He wants to keep
doing British accents that are bad.
Yeah. I really like him in that movie. He's so funny. We could talk about Poor Things.
There's another movie where he's doing a British accent. Oh, yeah, it's Mickey 17 or whatever.
Oh, my God, I can't wait to see that.
I forgot about him in that one.
Yeah. Speaking of Serhan, I guess one of the big things was going to Suit Supply. And I think we've hinted at this each time. This could be a big thing, but this is kind of fun because Serhan he's a friend of mine. He's a friend of a friend of a friend, and now is one of my good friends. He plays trivia with me. And I guess like over, being in trivia next to Ethan makes you want to dress up sometimes. I'm just going to say it. But no, he's come out for drinks, and, James is there, and my friend Jack, who works at Suit Supply, is there. And, we get to talking, and, it's one of those things where we're like, yeah, Serhan, like, you just had a blazer with your fit, like, that'd be so cool. And eventually he's like, well, I want to get a blazer. And I'm like, well, how about this? How about you just get a suit? That way you have the option.
It comes with it.
Get a navy, get a navy double-breasted suit, and then, you don't have to do the brass buttons thing. And that's kind of how it came together. And, of course, Jack is at Suit Supply, and Jack likes, the same stuff that we do, high-waisted, wide-leg trousers. He's, worked at Suit Supply, I guess, long enough to kind of manipulate or work with their fit system or whatever, to get fits that look good, and so it was kind of like a way for me to kind of check it out, and also shout out to the Discord. Brooks is in there, and a couple of other guys Austin Malat, and then some other guys who are in there now but who weren't there before. But we've been like kind of following softly Suit Supply's I guess rise again lately, because the people who work there obviously will be able to either wear ready to wear or get something custom made, and we've been noticing like wider, like not just wider lapels, but like a more drape fit, more room in the chest, extended shoulders. The rise has gotten higher on the trouser; they're more fuller cut and everything like that. And this is not sponsored by Suit Supply, but we've just been noticing it. And then I randomly met one of the guys who was like one of the branding, stylist guys over there. And, if you follow him, he's a couple seasons ahead, which is, I guess, a great marketing, in-house influencer or whatever. But he wears a bunch of like, high-waisted wide leg fits or whatever. And that, some of it's ready to wear, some of it is made to measure. And I'm like, damn, this is cool. And so when Serhan and I, we all had this conversation, I think we were like, well, I think Serhan could be like our guinea pig with this. And, Serhan is a guy who doesn't need to wear suits. He's not super picky like we are. He's not planning on wearing this with like a collar bar and long point collar with a tie, whatever. But he is interested in like a classic cut, and so it was a great way for me to also kind of see what the process was like, and also kind of just see if Jack knows his stuff. Mm-hmm. And so we went there over the course of a couple of weeks. It's kind of far for me and Serhan because we're both in Pasadena. But we went one time where he tried ready to wear on, then we came back and he got measured, and he came back to get adjusted and blah, blah, blah. So over the course of like a couple of months, based on our availability and Jack's availability, like we really worked together to find this kind of thing. And in the end, we did he got a navy double-breasted suit out of their 4-ply. And 4-ply fabric is really, really great. I forgot exactly what makes it 4-ply. I think it's just, if it's like toilet paper, right? This is like thick or whatever. But basically the 4-ply is like their traveler, and it's like open weave, very similar to Crisp Air. It's very kind of crunchy and matte, and it doesn't wrinkle it doesn't wrinkle easily, which is great. And so and it's like one of their standard offerings. It's not like a super crazy fabric. And so he got that. He got double breasted in that. High waisted, side tab trouser. And then like a month a month and a half later, it came in and it looks really good. He wore it to New Year's, and it looks really, really great. Like the wide lapels on him, and he's a tall, skinny guy, so of course the drape on him was excellent. And but yeah, I mean, Serhan's kind of hooked now. He's like, I want to get like a taupe suit or a khaki suit in cotton.
Taupe.
He's gonna try out like a single-breasted variation, which is going to be exciting.
Nice.
I think that they have different styles of it. They've widened the lapels or they've changed the shape or whatever. But overall, like, just it was good for me to again be there at Suit Supply and try on different stuff while I'm there and seeing like, okay, like here's their Roma cut, here's their Duca cut, here's like the Havana or whatever. Yeah, Bab Duca.
Bab Duca.
But like they have a bunch of I would say right now Suit Supply I think is the best place for off the rack tailoring, or I guess made to measure, because again, not sponsored, but I'm just saying it like it is, because Spear and McKay, the trousers are still so slim, and I'm not a huge fan of like really cutaway not cutaway, yeah, like the quarters are very rounded and it feels very Neapolitan, which is fine I guess as a jacket, but like when you have that with like a slim trouser, it feels very 2015 as opposed to like just a very classic thing. And so since I've only owned one suit from them, a brown corduroy, and now it's in the hands of James because I just don't wear it as much and the trousers were slim and I was outgrowing it, which is the real answer there. But yeah, Suit Supply, like, it looks more 30s-esque, I guess I would say. They do still have like the kind of like concave wide notch, which again looks kind of Spear McKay, looks very anthology, which I probably wouldn't do. But like a regular wide notch 3 roll 2 looks fine, and they have again a like 4-ply fabric, which is great for people who want like again that crisp air thing except without crisp air. And I'm sure that there's like Fresco is cheaper than crisp air, and for those of you who don't know, crisp air is like the Holland and Sherry, open weave kind of mid-weight fabric, which is really great. I have a couple of suits from them, but to do that again or to update my fit in those suits is pretty expensive because that's a very expensive mill, and so the 4-ply is good. So hey, you guys might see me wearing a 4-ply suit from Suit Supply at some point, and maybe I'll talk about that in the future once I have it in hand, or once it's properly. But maybe by the time this has come out, you might have seen a version of it already. But yeah. We also put Serhan in a lot of different like colors. Like there's like a wide leg like wool silk, or like kind of like a like Super 100, Super 120s, whatever. Very, very fine suit. Very luxurious, very Scandinavian, I guess. And like this khaki suit, and he liked it. I mean, he wants it in cotton because I think he likes a little bit of the Ivy, city boy aesthetic, which I'm very proud of because Serhan likes anime, and so Kino Kuniya is right there, Popeye, Second Magazine, all that kind of stuff, and so he's kind of got that on the mind. But so he's gonna get that. But it was really cool to see him like try on different stuff, try on the double-breasted. I think he also bought a grenadine tie from Suit Supply. I don't think he's worn it since, but he has that. I'm trying to get him to upgrade his shirts and get some longer collars. Also, he did. Oh yeah. Also, I guess this is kind of a Serhan episode, but he did get penny loafers from Morehouse, which I don't think we have, and any of us have, because Spencer, you have Grant Stone.
Yes.
And then I, of course, have Alden.
Yeah.
And Serhan wasn't about to drop, $1,000 or close to $1,000 on the LHS, but Morehouse is like 400, like it's under $500, so he bought those, and he likes them. It's been cool to see him at trivia, going out to a bar, just hanging out, where he he might wear like a graphic T-shirt, but he'll throw on some straight leg jeans he got from J. Crew with white socks and penny loafers, and and that's great. I think it's fun, and some days he'll throw on the blazer with it, some days he'll wear the trousers. He's been trying to get as much wear, and again, he just ordered the taupe cotton suit, and so this is the another friend is getting into this, just like MJ, just like Adam, just like other people, so. But yeah, MJ, when are you gonna get a fucking Suit Supply suit?
Well, soon. Maybe. Well, this year.
Yeah, Soon, actually, this year. You've got
Soon this
literally
year.
like 10 months, or I guess 9 months
Yeah,
left.
foreshadowing.
In a little bit here.
Actually, it was Ethan's
well, speaking of that,
foreshadowing.
that is true. Yeah. Speaking of that, we had a very menswear thing, or a thing that most guys go through, I guess, but this is our first time doing it. Tux rent, or I guess suit rentals for an upcoming
That's
wedding.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, we went for my friend Scott, one of my best friends from high school, or I guess third or fourth. Every guy's my best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Different
no,
versions of best friends.
Exactly. They all serve different things. It's polyamorous, I guess you could say. But yeah,
friendship.
Scott is, some of you guys might know and seen from, if you follow me, whatever. Scott's one of my friends from high school, and he's engaged with his, I guess, now fiance, but his girlfriend of over 10 years, and so, I bring up, it's related to Suit Supply because at first he wanted to gift everyone suits for to be in there. It's like thank you to all these guys who've supported him, which is very nice. And I told him Suit Supply is great, and I obviously he didn't know that each suit costs about $1,000 for me to measure, and so in the end he is gonna do Suit Supply. He's probably gonna do a double-breasted, to be special and cool. He definitely wants to be. He's not a menswear guy at all, but he definitely wants to wear it. To be able to wear a suit for more than just. Yeah, exactly, and that I was like, Scott, you don't have to wear a tuxedo. Like, don't worry. Like, that's like, don't fall for that trap unless you really want a tuxedo. But no, you don't have to do that. So he's gonna get that. But that leaves everyone else with an issue here. So how's everyone gonna match? Well, I said, hey, if everyone wants to spend the money, I'm already buying a Suit Supply suit at some point because I really want to upgrade my Chris Bear suit because I can't fit into it. I guess MJ, you don't need a Suit Supply suit because you have that actually now.
Yeah.
But then you'll have my problem of.
It'd be cool to have the single-breasted though, but sure.
Oh yeah, but then now, see, that's what I'm saying. Now you have to spend that much, or slightly more, to get a Chris Bear matching jacket.
Yes.
But then you'll get it in a really good fabric. But anyway,
It's true.
I think that's actually the move because that's better than why drop $1,000 on a suit and a different fabric? We can just spend that much on a good jacket for the thing that you already own, and that way you don't have to take up two things in your closet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I tried to convince the guys, the rest of the groom party, to buy Suit Supply suit, and half of them were into it, MJ included, obviously, and the other half were not. And of course, it doesn't make sense to force everyone to spend $1,000 of what they don't have, and so we went to the Black Tux, which we're not sponsored by them at all. I don't want their sponsorship, even if they asked me to. But it's a typical tux or suit rental thing. My saving grace is that I convinced Scott to let me wear a Suit Supply suit, and it's going to be single-breasted so I don't overshadow him. And so that works out for me. So I thankfully don't have to waste money on a rental suit. But MJ has to, unfortunately. But again, it's not his day. It's Scott's day.
How much are you guys paying for the rental suit?
How much was it?
So there was like a promotion where it was like 20% off, but anyways, the final price was like about $150. So
okay, that's still like the price that I was charging for rental tuxedos. Back in the day, as in
Men's Warehouse.
I guess now 10 years ago. Actually, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe like 7 years ago. Actually.
Yeah. Well, because I was still working there, but I started in like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
It was summer after I graduated, I think. So yeah.
Men's Warehouse. Oh wait,
Men's Warehouse.
You were Men's Warehouse, right?
I was Men's Warehouse, but I worked at the Macy's. Yeah,
that's right.
For a while they had a tuxedo rental stand that I think cost both companies like hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's crazy.
Because we didn't get much business. I would spend most of my day just fucking standing around.
Yeah, and you can't help it because you're a tux rental guy.
Yeah, and so they would ask me. It's like, sometimes I would just show them because I was like bored or whatever. But like I couldn't make any sales. I would have to call it like. Also, the Macy's people would get mad at me because they're like, "You're stealing our commission or whatever." But
you're like, "I can't because I don't have."
Yeah, I didn't.
Like, I can't ring them up.
Yeah,
take the commission. But yeah, but I guess that's kind of what we did because the Black Tux is like in certain Nordstroms, and so we went there. And it's like, I guess I don't know. There was like, it seemed like a busy day for some reason because we got there. We had to wait because someone else was going first. And then there were people after us. Like, damn, everyone's getting fucking married. I'm going to Killing myself. No. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like a pretty straightforward thing. It's basically they put you in different, like sizes, and you go, okay, here we go. And then they mark up where you want your sleeves and trousers to end, and then they send it to you precariously 10 days before the event.
Oh,
so
wow.
if you
that way they
if you have to do any alterations, you have to get it like right when you pick
that
it.
same day. And also, like, you have to, if anything's wrong, you gotta tell them that date, so that way they have a week to mail you the next one.
Well, because I mean, the rental suit, it's like, I feel like at least when we did it, it's like the only alterations that you could do were hemming the sleeves of the pants, which normally our tailor would be able to do like same day. But I don't know. Yeah, if the jacket doesn't fit, then you have to send out for another one. But I know that's another little secret of the rental tuxedo industry. Sometimes I would have to like drive to another location to pick up a size that they had like in their storage, area. So that's sometimes what's happening.
Yeah.
The
suit looks bad, so I feel bad for them.
Of course it does. It's a rental suit.
Yeah, it's like 2 buttons, slim lapel, low buttoning point.
The pants, I asked them if they had a higher rise, wider leg, and I mean, it's not the.
They have one pant model.
It's
MJ.
not.
Come on.
They had 2. They gave me the slim one first, and I was like,
oh, then they have like the classic.
They have like it's slim or relaxed or whatever they call it. I was like, okay,
damn it, Spencer, not Spencer. Taylor and Andrew should have told me anything. I mean, whatever.
The one that you saw me wear was the relaxed, and that was still sort of tapered.
Well, now I'm concerned for the other guys, but they didn't ask me to look at anything, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean they. Yeah, well, it's over, so.
I'm wearing high-waisted full cut trousers.
Yeah, I was like, do you have well, not only a wider, like, do you also have a higher, because she asked me, she was like, do you usually wear your pants like there? I was like, no, it's actually a little higher, like almost to my belly button or at the belly button. She goes, okay, try this one. It's the same waist size, but it was just the relaxed fit, so we'll see.
Yeah. That's gonna be really funny. I mean, whatever. At least we have good ties. We got our ties from the tie bar. It's like it's like a silver plaid one, because like Scott was asking me like what tie would they wear, and at first it was gonna like match match the bridesmaid dresses, which is like a pinkish whatever mauve, but like the good thing is that they didn't want to look like prom, and I was like talking to Scott and Lorelai, I was like, guys, it's gonna look bad if you match like the ties, and so like what would you wear? I'm like, well, how about you guys do like boutonnieres, which I think that they're gonna do, and then they'll wear like a white shirt and like a gray tie, and I think stripes is too boring, so we did like a Glen Plaid, and we went with a tie bar because that's the place you can get like 8 ties or whatever for like less than $30, so, or right at $30, I guess.
Yeah.
And it looks fine. I sent them a photo. There's like a famous, to me, an iconic Drake's lookbook photo or editorial picture of a guy in Italy wearing a navy suit, white shirt, and a plaid tie, and I'm like, this is it. And Scott was like, that looks good. I'm like, cool. And so anyway, I'm gonna look great with my suit, and Scott's gonna look great in the DB with the a gray Glen Plaid bow tie, which maybe he should just give that to me when he's done. Actually, maybe he'll want it, because I'm like, I don't know, like if he doesn't want a plaid bow tie.
Well,
but anyway,
did he buy it already, or did you?
No, I haven't. I think he still has to buy it. Yeah.
I mean, you could buy it for him and just be like, "Here, you can borrow this."
Yeah, or he can just. I have a gray houndstooth bow tie, and maybe he'll be into wearing that instead. That way, no one has to spend money.
That's true.
When I get married, knock on wood, if that ever happens, I'm making everyone wear their own clothes. I'll give them a theme.
You should open up an email like Jeremy Fragrance looking for a wife.
Yeah. I'm gonna start making videos like him. I'm like gonna hire someone, and they're gonna film my weird videos.
We should get him on. Like, Isabella says that he goes on like any podcast that'll invite him. We could do it.
I just don't want us to make fun. Like, it's too easy, because I'm gonna do my antagonistic improv goading thing. That's and I don't think he's gonna. I don't want him to not have a good time.
That's true.
That's the thing, because we're gonna make fun of the guy, dude. We're gonna make fun of him.
I feel like he can take it. He did an interview with his like brother, and his brother opens up by saying, "It's like, so Jeremy, how many lines did you snort today?" or something like that.
That's pretty good. That's really
and
good.
I guess it's different because we're not his brother.
Yeah. He's allowed to do that.
And yeah, remember he's like a huge Christian Trump supporter. Like
that
I don't.
Is true.
It's something's gonna come out. We're gonna like he's either gonna storm out or we're just gonna get into it.
And then,
and then he's gonna tell us to not
episode.
release it. Yeah, he's gonna be like, hey, I don't want that out there. And once we have that in writing or on recorded, he says that we can't use it.
Well, I don't think that's. I don't know. I feel like if we have his consent while we record it, that we are in the clear.
Well, then he won't just.
I've taken a cob law class.
You're telling me if you interviewed someone and someone goes, I don't want
it would
that,
be unethical to release it, but I think we would have the legal right to.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
I understand
morality versus legality.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, never mind. I'm not going to get into it. I got a couple of last stuff here that happened to me this month. We went to, well, actually all of us, we went to, or not MJ.
Nope.
Right. We went to Vintage Rendezvous.
That's right.
And we were there
fun.
we were there for a really short time. It's not like we're not buying, okay?
No,
actually
it's
I did
also
buy stuff.
expensive there.
I know. I mean, it's inspiration but not inspiration, dude.
Yeah,
like I don't know what we expected. Actually, we did know what we expected. Because we didn't buy anything.
Even the fucking books. There was a guy. I don't want to knock him because he had good stuff. I'm not gonna say who it was because I don't know. But there was a guy that had a bunch of like little paperback mass market books. That's like, I collect that shit. I have like 7 of. I have 100 of these behind me. And I asked him, it's like, how much are these? And I was expecting to say at most maybe $5 to $15. Okay. And he looked at the one I was holding. He's like, "Yeah, that's $75." I'm like, "Are you kill yourself? Like, what are you?"
Oh shit!
I didn't tell him that, but I couldn't believe it. It wasn't even like, I don't know.
That's
maybe they're like especially rare, but I just couldn't. Yeah. He had like a stack of them, and they were all like between $50 and $70.
That's like, yeah. I know you didn't go to this last year or 2 years ago, but like I went to the rare book fair, and like. It's straight. It's that. You know what I mean? Like it's like, how much is this? Oh, this is like $50. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's
hey, how much is that? Like cocktail menu from the '60s? I'm assuming like $10. Oh, that's $50. And I'm like, damn.
Like every book that I buy, like all of these have been like less than $5. Maybe I'm spoiled, but I don't know. I just can't. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I can't. I simply can't. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff at Vintage Rendezvous. Like again, like
John Waters was there.
Yeah, apparently.
Like we saw him as he was leaving.
Wow, and you're like the king of trash or whatever. What's his name?
Right. The Saint of Trash or something. That's what his exhibit at the Academy Museum is called, or was called.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I did see that.
That was a good exhibit.
It was very good.
Yeah.
But the Vintage Rendezvous, for those of you who don't know, it's like it's like a curated trade show of vintage sellers. So very similar actually to Inspiration LA. You might say it's a direct competitor, but I guess they're at different times, so it's fine. But like, yeah, a lot of people will come in. A lot of SoCal dealers will be there. People like Gator's Vintage, Eveready Vintage, Aloe Vera Vintage, Benny Reese of Reese's Vintage Pieces. Countless people, both here and from out of state, will come and sell here it's the biggest. It's heavily curated, by which I mean it's like you're getting like Hercules D pocket jackets, you're getting P44 HBT jackets and pants, you're getting all that shit here, and so like as we said, it's very very expensive. And again, I didn't buy much, although I did buy one thing or group of things. I lied. But a guy was selling a bunch of 30s and 40s ties. It was all in a tote bag. I said, "How much are these?" He goes like, "Well, which ones do you want?" And like I pull out like 5. He goes, "I don't know. You can give me $40." And I'm like, "Damn, less than $10 a tie. I'm taking them." And they weren't even fucked up. They were good brocade and swing really nice abstract geometric ties. I made out like a fucking bandit, I was so happy. And that guy, I forgot what his fucking booth is, but if I remember it, I'll put it somewhere. But yeah, that was awesome. Last year, I got an A2 jacket for $180, and then I saw that same guy selling another jacket that was similar in size that I didn't buy at Rose Bowl for $160. So whatever. I guess with the ticket prices of both of those things, that's more of $190 versus $170, I guess. Whatever. I paid $20 to get it one day earlier.
Nice.
But it's a cool spot. It's always around February or April, I guess. I guess it's February right now, so it's check it out if it's in town. I think Inspiration's coming back. They also just like Inspiration, they have the guys selling old Japanese magazines. Clutch, Lightning, and for the first time I saw a Second magazine, which is more of like the preppy, tailoring stuff. I didn't buy any, but each one was like $20 or less, which is kind of the price of what they are anyway, except they're all old issues. So or like older, like, within the past 5 to 8 years. But yeah, that was Vintage Rendezvous. I'll share some photos of that. The coolest thing I saw there was a Lenny Bernstein shirt, which was
is cool.
I guess drawn with like marker or some kind of like paint pen of it was on a dress shirt. I think it wasn't even a camp collar. It was like a Poplin OCBD or button down collar shirt, but it was an album cover of his conducting of like the Bach concerto in G, and then or in D, whatever it is, and they drew that, and then of course all around that was like the sheet music, like, and very meticulously drawn on that shit. It was so cool. Like, it was like I can't draw in a straight line, and it's staffs or staves, I guess, or 5 lines going, or I guess a whole staff is 10 lines, and like that's crazy, dude. But like whoever did that must have really loved Lenny more than me, I guess. And so that was a lot of fun. Then we went to a zine fest afterward, and we also went to a live comic reading, which was
that was
really
cool.
funny.
I liked the comic
so
reading.
funny.
That was good. I want to do more stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will finish off with my final story here. I know this is my time to talk, but I also went to the Buck Mason and Lee event. I wish you guys went, because that was crazy. For those of you who don't know, I guess Buck Mason is a brand. I wrote an article about it, and I wrote about the event briefly, and you guys can read it. But I'll talk about it. But Buck Mason, they've done a lot of collabs. They've done stuff with Brycelands. They've done stuff with J Press. They did stuff with Eddie Bauer. They kind of do this kind of like fun fashiony repro thing. And this time they did something with Lee, and I think they have like basically like a 101J suit, like the Western suit. So it's like a 101J style jacket with matching trousers, or matching, I guess, fatigue pants or jeans. And it's really cool. I wouldn't buy it because I don't wear that stuff. Also, I think the jacket's a little bit long. But everyone was really cool. It was a friends and family event, it feels like. It was more just like, friends of the brand, and also everyone who works there and friends of the people who work there. It wasn't like an open party, which I think the Double RL party is also friends and family whenever they do the Inspiration LA, but we just go all the time. Even if we look like the dumbest guys there, because we're like not vintage sellers or models or designers. And that's how I felt at this thing, because I was like, I'm not cool, man. Like, and it's funny when people are like, hey man, like, nice fit, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I work at a podcast network. They go, oh, okay. I know I could say, oh yeah, I write about menswear, but it's funny for me not to say that, actually. I just want to be like, I just love clothes. Yeah, I don't want them to know that I'm the Ethan M. Wong. And it's a lowercase THE, actually, because it's not really a big deal.
Because it's a Tumblr URL, that's why.
That's right. But no, it was a lot of fun. Free drinks. Free drinks combined with small plates that you definitely don't eat because you forget about it means you are fucking sloshed, baby. Really great night. And like, there's a lot of people there. 1000 Yard Style was there. Gator was there. Steven from Everready Vintage was there. Luis from Silver Lake Market was there. Garrett and Maya from York Manor were there. World's Worst Surf Shop Will was there. And it's kind of fun to hang out with those guys, because they're vintage sellers, but they're also like not in the industry. Like, they're kind of friends, and so just cool to catch up, talk about whatever we're up to, have some drinks. The Buck Mason retail and design team were there too. And I guess I've mainly met some of the design team because I met some of them at the Throwing Fits event, and we just invite them out. Shout out Miles, Brenton, and Max, and Riley. All those guys are super, super chill. We ran out of cigs, and so we did a little field trip 2 blocks, which is 2 long LA blocks, down to find a gas station to get some cigs. And so it's just really funny to see a bunch of guys wearing Lee jackets, both vintage and the current repro. buying fucking Marlboro Golds and American Spirits or Red Evers.
Red Evers.
And then
Red Ever.
Red Evers.
Yeah.
And so that was great. James was also there. Chris was there. Hao Cheng was there as well. These are guys who don't work in menswear officially. I guess Hao Cheng works at Ralph Lauren. But yeah, it was great. And I wore my Lee jacket, which is a 101J style, but in brown twill, brown denim, I guess. And that was cool. I think people thought it was a sample, and I'm like, nah, guys, it's the original, baby. And then they go, oh, cool. Are you like a vintage designer? Or are you a designer? Are you like a picker? I'm like, oh, no, I work at a podcast. And they're like, okay. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And, you know, I guess that's the first like fashion event. I guess Rendezvous is kind of a fashion event, but like, this is like the first like party of 2025. And it was, you know, I always get social anxiety before I go in because I'm like, you know, again, I'm not in the industry here. I'm a lowercase influencer, but I don't do sponsor stuff. Like, again, I don't get buck. I'm not on the flow team, and I've told them, you know, please don't give it to me because I might not wear it. You know, like, keep waiting. I'll tell you if I want something, and usually I don't do that. Yeah, so it is kind of a fun experience for me to go to these things, and of course, all of that anxiety goes away when you have a drink, and then when you start talking to your friends. And it's, you know, it's a fun time, you know, and I see some of these guys not at events, you know, we go out to 4100 or we go to Capri Club, or we go to Xinjiang, which I took Brenton to for the first time, and he was like, this place fucking awesome. I'm like, I know, like I'm gonna miss that actually if I do move out to Mid City or whatever. My beloved Xinjiang in the SGV will be further out, my skewer place that's open till 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
I know K-Town exists.
It's
But
different.
this is different, okay? This is my domain, you know. But yeah, you know, maybe that's a kind of a teaser for something future stuff. You know, I'll have a future episode on whatever that meant.
Yeah.
Next time, we'll keep it going. But yeah, that's what we were up to, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode.
I have actually.
we have a.
I didn't have them in the notes.
In the notes.
I have them in
Oh
my
yeah,
brain
here we go.
notes.
Finish it off, Spencer. Here we go.
So for for 6 months last year, I was unemployed, and did not have any extra money except for gas and groceries. So I haven't been buying stuff lately, but now that I've gotten a few paychecks under my belt, and I've kind of rebuilt my savings, I am back to being financially irresponsible, and it feels so good.
Hell yeah, dude.
In preparation for the Trump tariffs, I bought a couple things from Bronson Shop, because they're from China.
China.
And as many people, as some people might know, actually, I don't know if this is a well-known piece of information. For work, I typically wore chinos like every day. Like I have 2 pairs of chinos. You know, you could define them as chinos, I guess. One of them is a pair of Repro P41 HPT, like olive trousers, that I just kind of wore as chinos, and the other one were from Knickerbocker and Company, the New York brand, and their kind of like interpretation of World War II chinos, which I liked. I wore them a lot for many, many, many years. And then finally, a few weeks ago, they just tore at the knee when I was just sitting down. The fabric had gotten so thin. And so I thought, okay, it's time to replace these.
That's why you're replacing them?
Yeah. So I'm still gonna
man.
wear them, but like I'm gonna patch up the knee, but I'll probably wear them with more casual stuff, with workwear stuff or whatever. But I wanted something that I could wear to work. So I checked out a few options, and I settled on Bronson Shop because although I do have more spending money now, I'm still not made of money. I can't go to like Bryceland's or whatever yet.
I can't go to Bryceland's yet.
Yeah, but they had 2 options. They had the 1942 U.S. Army chinos and the 1944 USMC chinos. And for a few days, I kind of deliberated on which ones I'm going to get, and then at the end I decided to get both. Because
hell yeah,
I figured if I'm going to be wearing these a lot, I should be able to rotate them. And also, as I said, I don't know what's going to happen with tariffs and buying things from overseas. So I was like, in case in a few months it becomes not feasible to do this, I just want to have both. So I got those, both really good. Great high rise. I like the color a lot more than my old ones, actually, because my old ones were very light, very like kind of grayish, like desaturated. The USMC ones are the really classic khaki, and the Marine Corps ones, or sorry, the Army ones are very the classic like khaki, and the Marine Corps ones are this really beautiful like brown, like light brown tannish. So I like that I have some color variation too. And then I followed up on that by replacing a few, well, not replace, yeah, I guess replacing a few other things, or not replacing, but like adding to, because I've had my U.S. Navy dungarees for a long time, which are from What Price Glory, and those are like replicas or reproductions of, I think, a model from like 1912 or something, and I like those a lot. However, I've always felt the fabric left a little bit, like the cloth left a little bit to be desired. It is not very thick, so I didn't have any drape or anything. So I got a pair of those, as
the
well
35
as
ones.
What was that? No, I got from At the Front. I'll send the link.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I got the At the Front. Hold on.
Yes, give it to me.
And I also got the chambray from At the Front, because the one I oh, there we go. The one that I have, I do have a vintage one, but it's like thrashed at this point. Like the collar needs to be flipped. I need to like patch up the elbows, and there's a couple other holes, and I'm still gonna wear that one, but like with more distressed looks. But same thing with the chinos. Like, why not something that, if I wanted to, I could wear to work and not be like, like not wearing something super distressed. But these haven't arrived yet, but I'm going to get them, I don't know, in the next week or two. That and the chino, and the chambray. So I'm excited for both of these, but as I hinted at earlier, I'm also been looking at eBay a lot more than I have. So I have those 60s trousers that I really like, that I've been wearing a lot, and so I'm looking for other pairs. I have on my watch list like a pair of gray ones that are pretty similar cut, and then also like madras. Like I might finally get the madras like plaid trousers that I've wanted for years. But I don't know. This is all going to be in future episodes, but I'm excited to be recklessly spending money on clothes again. I haven't been able to do that for a while, so it's exciting.
I am very proud of you for doing so. I'm about, again, if I move, that I'm gonna go enter my poor era where I'm not spending money on anything other than rent.
You've had years of buying, so
that's absolutely true. You can
just really appreciate the things that you have.
And I do, because I don't buy things very often, or when I do, I just replace things that I've outgrown. So,
but maybe we can figure this out on the podcast. The thing that I'm still struggling with when it comes to the dungarees.
Yeah.
Do I wear them cuffed, or do I get them hemmed to just like not have to cuff?
It's cuffed.
It's cuffed?
The answer is cuffed, bro.
Okay. Because I don't know, the bell-bottom trousers famous from the song from World War II, as I discovered, I think from this website, servicemen would get them tailored at local tailors, and have them taken in at the knee by 1 inch. I was kind of considering doing that, but I think I'm going to leave them straight leg.
Why don't you just find? I think
I could get the Seafarer jeans. Yeah, if I'm on eBay, like I could get those for like $30.
No, you don't want Seafarers because those are poly blend. You got to find the 80s, like I do. The 80s cotton. It's called like flame retardant, but it's 100% cotton dungarees.
Okay,
they're a little bit
I'll
pricier,
look for those too. Yeah,
but that's you gotta size up twice. You gotta do like a size 38 or something, or 40 or whatever.
But anyway, when these get in, I will provide pictures and do a little review. But I'm excited.
Maybe by the time this comes out, actually,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is gonna go out pretty quickly because we're doing it quick nowadays.
Yeah, but this is
That
my
way-
update.
yeah.
So next episode, you'll hear more about these items that I purchased and when they get in.
The next update.
The next
Wupdate.
update. That's right.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for listening to it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Style and Direction, the mentor podcast with the stuffiness. If you're interested in supporting us and our hobby of buying clothes directly, I mean, come on, guys, give us that money. You can go to patreon.com/styleanddirection. $5 a month gives you access to our Discord, our community, where we talk about a lot of different stuff. We get your feedback, or I guess your thoughts on some topics whenever we happen to do them. Like we did for the personal style episode. You also have access to our backlog of bonus episodes where we talk about movies, movie styles, including The Philadelphia Story, Back to the Future, Secret of the Incas, because Indiana Jones was for the public, because that's a big one. But if you like all of that stuff, you can go to patreon.com/styleanddirection. The $10 option, nothing else changes. It's more just like a nice bonus if you want. But we do give something back, which is us saying your name, or specifically, MJ thanking you. So MJ, who are we thanking?
We are thanking Shane Curry, Philip Gregard, Henrik Wilberg, Mason Ritchie, Alexander Batten, and Alec Scroggins.
We appreciate you guys so much for supporting us. And if you want to keep up with us and not give to Patreon, that's fine too. You can go fuck yourselves. But you can follow the podcast at Style and Direction. You can follow me at Ethan M. Wong.
I'm at Spencer DSO.
And I'm at Aya MJ.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.